So boys, Ludideo here with the final tier list of the season, probably, because the patch is just dropping 11.2.7 and there are 0 balance changes. So the meta is set in. I have a lot of changes since my last tier list, because things just changed. The meta changed since then, and the meta is very set in for a month already, and I'm 100% sure about this one. Now, I did add some extra rows because some classes, even though they were S tier, are just 2 classes. I will not spoil, but are just, you know, game-changing classes. Now, I'm fairly certain in my tier list, since I am currently top 28 of all DPS, and as well tank number 1. So I do have some knowledge and the amount of games, probably have 1,000 games, around 2.5, 2.6, 2.4, 2.3 while climbing. I have over 8 different specs above 2.4 in arena right now. So I don't have much bias because I like to change classes around. So I don't really care what's OP and what's not. Now, saying that, also one thing I want to say, guys, if you want to reach 1.8, it doesn't matter. You can play anything. You can literally reach 1.8 with anything here on the list. Except maybe some of the tanks, but we'll go into that too. Now, 2.1, melees will probably be the easiest way to get 2.1. Okay, melees. But above 2.1, melees will get way worse, and casters will be way more impressive. Okay, so this tier list is mainly for above 2.1 to, at least 2.6. We're not gonna enter rank 1 territory because then some classes like Outlaw would be higher and some classes would be lower, okay? So, around the late level, let's get going, starting with the Warrior. One of my favorites, one of my mains, Fury Warrior. Great spec. It's in a pretty good state. As a warrior, warrior is good, but the meta is so bad for the warrior, it can be higher than B tier. You're playing every single game against triple ranged. The higher you go. So in the low ratings, this could be A plus S tier almost, right? But around 2.4, 2.5, maybe even 2.3, it's B tier, guys. Every game you will play against marksman, maybe double marksman, plus Warlock plus Mage, Boomy, every game. So you will not enjoy playing this, and you will have a lot of problems. Same goes for the Arms Warrior. Okay. The only reason why I put Fury above Arms Warrior is because once you get lucky lobby and you play against like DK, okay, you're probably gonna destroy him more as a Fury Warrior. He'll be crying, and you'll be happy. So they're in the same problem, obviously. They're warriors, same toolkit. B tier can be higher than that, even though they're pretty good. If the meta would change, but it will not, since the season ends in 2 months, less than 2 months, they'll probably stay here until the end of expansion. Okay? Now, Demon Hunter doesn't have the same problem as a warrior. It can connect very easily, it has the best mobility, has pretty solid defensives. It's, you can't get rid of him, but it does decent damage, has good CC, it has everything pretty much. So I thought it would be S tier, but actually this is my most recent 2.4. Actually, it is A tier, because you are not that game changing, okay? Meaning you can do everything perfectly, everything, and still lose a lobby. Some of the other specs, which will be S tier, won't do that, right? They'll do everything right and still, they won't lose. Or they can make some mistakes and still win. As a Demon Hunter, that won't be the case. So, even though it's great, I think that doesn't, it doesn't push it over to S tier. That fact, okay? Now, one of the melees that can actually do that is Red Paladin. Even after the nerfs, damage is pretty solid. It is not insane like before. Before it would be SS tier, because you wouldn't need to use your toolkit at all. You could just pump damage like you're a warrior with Red Paladin. Now, you don't do that much damage, so to win the games, you actually need to use your toolkit well. That means using your bubble, using your spell bubble, using your sanctuary, using your sacrifice, using freedoms, using searing glares, using everything at your disposal. And that's precisely why it's S tier, because it has all of that. Not because of the damage, okay? If we cut, some utility from Paladin, it would probably drop to A tier. But it can't be below S tier, even if they nerf damage even more. Just the utilities, so it has everything. You're supporting your team. If you're playing with Marksman Hunter, you don't even need to do damage. You just need to keep him alive, right? And you can do it. He has literally 3 lives with Red Paladin next to him, right? And he can be even slowed because of freedom. So that's the power of Red Paladin, guys. That's the power of Red Paladins. Now, Unholy DK. Same as Demon Hunter. Super strong, super powerful, but it doesn't have that game-changing, like Red Paladin. It does always top damage, insane damage, but it's not S tier. It's probably the best melee, okay? But it's not S tier. It's very strong, very good defenses, but then again, guys, if it encounters like a warrior, he's gonna be in a problem, right? He's gonna be in a big problem because warriors eat them for breakfast. Or even MM Hunter. MM Hunters rips Unholy DK. So Unholy DK is S tier, sure, against casters, but then again, some matchups he's just bad against, right? So Frost DK has the same weaknesses, but it doesn't have that beautiful damage. It plays with one gimmick, and that's one shot Swifty macro. Okay? I mean, if you're playing against good players, they're gonna CC you or run away on your burst, and after that you're kind of useless. Okay? So unfortunately Frost DK is not in the great spot. There is worse, obviously, than Frost DK, but it's pretty damn weak. Okay? Could be better. At lower lobbies, you can dominate with it, for sure. But the higher you go, the worse it gets. Okay? Now, Windwalker. This is a weird one, since Windwalkers believe Windwalker sucks. But Windwalker is actually pretty damn good in my opinion. It's like Warrior, but better. It has the same problems as Warrior, but the one thing that Windwalker has above Warrior is Burst. It does consistent damage, it has same mobility, it has pretty same defensives, not great, right? But it does have big burst, and Warrior does not. So same consistent damage, but huge cleave as well, but insane burst with the crackling Sith Lord lightning, right? That's why it's A tier, that's why it's so good, and it's pretty fun too. So this is definitely A tier, no one can tell me this is B tier because it is better than Warrior. But it is not as good as these two, okay? So there's a little gap between these two and Windwalker, okay? Now, rogues. Rogues. Assassination is a hard one because it's so good in the current meta, right? It's super powerful. And the higher you go, the higher this class climbs in the tier list. But since we are around elite level, it will stay at the A tier. And I will put it just between these two because it is, of course, a little bit harder than the Unholy DK because it's Rogue, right? Unholy DK is here because it's easier. So otherwise Rogue would be here. It's very, very powerful the more skilled you are. But since this is not a rank 1 tier list, it is A tier. If it was rank 1, it would be S tier, right? Super powerful, super good. But it is a rogue, which means it's on the heavier side. So that's why it's A tier. Now, outlaw. Guys, what can we say here? If you're best player in the world, we can say it's A tier. But since you are not the best player in the world, and I'm not the best player in the world, it is D tier. It is the worst melee spec in the game. It does least damage. All you do is think about cross-CCing to set up a kill for your team. But if your team does no damage, you won't score a kill. If your team messes up your stun DRs, I mean, you know, you're in big problem. So it's like, as well, APM insane. You're gonna get drained playing this class. You have to think about a lot of things going on. You're playing a Fury Warrior with spaghettis, noodles for weapons, right? So it is what it is. Don't play this class. This is only for the best players in the world. Don't play it at all. But it's fun class, nonetheless. I like Outlaw really, but it is the hardest class in the game. It's the hardest class in the game, and it's not even close, okay? Now, Sub-Rogue. Unfortunately, since HPs are pretty big, there's no Shadowy Duel anymore, and this is a solo shuffle. It's C tier, guys. Same problem as Outlaw. It does no damage, except why it's above Outlaw is because it can actually kill something, okay? It can actually kill something in a smoke bomb. But since you're gonna play with teammates that will mess up, like Warrior will shockwave your kill target, then your kidney shot will be halved, right? So that's the problem with Sub-Rogue. It doesn't have that much kill pressure as it used to with Shadowy Duel, where you could solo carry a game, and that's why it can't be like, if it had Shadowy Duel it would still be A tier probably, but it doesn't. So C tier is still good. If this was a 3v3 it would be higher because you're on comms, you're with your teams, but in solo shuffle no way. But again, the higher you go it will be better, right? We're talking about elite level now. Ooh, Enhancement Shaman. Why did Enhancement Shaman get nerfed, guys? I have no idea. It does solid damage in the burst rotation. When it was sent, you're very, very scary. But once you meet people who can CC your ascent, you're not that good anymore, right? So you heal a lot. I mean, Shaman has a lot of utility, it's great spec, but all your damage is in Ascendance and it's so easily shut downable. So easily, right? Pearl. Now, it's pretty hard spec. Not the best season for it, but it's pretty decent, I think. It's pretty decent. I'm seeing more and more Ferals now. It does actually very good damage, but it is squishy. It is squishy, and you're often a kill target and you die easily. So good damage, low survivability, and hard. If it was easy, maybe it would be A tier, but it's pretty hard, so it has to stay B tier. But it does way more damage than these three, if played correctly, right? So that's why it's B tier. Now, Survival Hunter. Actually, probably it's so good. Like, all the Hunter specs are so good right now. I'm gonna say it's A tier. It's probably, damage-wise, the strongest melee. It does so much damage. It does huge burst, it does huge consistent damage, it does huge cleave, it does amazing CC, it has pretty good defensives. Just so good, but it is hard, it's very complex. So if it was any easier, maybe I would put it in S tier, okay? But it's very, very complex, but it's super strong, guys. It's super strong. Still, A tier, very strong, A plus pretty much, right? So this would be kind of A plus. Now, BM. Easiest class in the game. Does super good damage. You don't need to worry about anything. You're just running around, doing damage. You can't be stopped at all. And you can run around and CC people while you're doing damage. I mean, great. What a spec. It's a great spec. It's strong. It's not as oppressive as some others we'll mention now. But it has all the strength of a hunter, but easier, right? All the hunter specs would be S tier. But since BM is way easier than survival, this one is S and this one is A, right? And now we have a king, SS. You can do everything wrong, and still win with a one random lucky crit. Happened to me multiple times that I died from 90 to 0 in a random double tap block, in a random volley, not even a true shot. So this class is as obnoxious as it gets. It's the most one-shotty class here, and that's the power of it. If you do everything correctly, you'll one-shot something. If you don't do everything correctly, you might one-shot something. If you fuck up everything, you still might win because you might one-shot something. And that's it, guys. It's super strong, it's insane, and it's one of the kings of the shuffle right now. It's every game. It's every game. Every game. It's very oppressive. Top 2 specs in the game right now. No question about it. No question about it. Now, Evoker. It does a lot of damage. It does a lot of damage. But it's not kill pressure damage. It's huge DPS damage, but it doesn't kill things. You need your teammate to finish off the target, right? So here comes the Marksman Hunter. He finishes the targets all the time. So depending on the matchup, Evoker can be between A and B tier, depending on the matchup, right? If you have a melee there, it will be way easier to play against them. If you're playing against triple ranged, you know, he leans towards B tier. If he plays against one melee already, he's A tier. He does very good damage, and you know, the only problem are triple ranged lobbies where you're kind of the worst ranged in the lobby, right? If you get matched against Destro and Marksman and Mage, you will be the punching bag. But it's still good. It's still good. Okay? Now. Fire Mage, guys. Fire Mage. Amazing, insane spec currently. Almost SS tier, but the weakness of it is squishy, okay? Hunters can literally one-tap it 100 to 0, how squishy it is. So if there was no Hunter, this would probably be SS tier, but since Hunter is keeping it in check, Fire Mage is here. It's super good, insane damage, insane everything, super fun to play as well. If you never played Fire Mage and you like casters, this would be my recommendation. It's so fun. It's very good. I love it. Nothing to say anymore. It's great. Now, Frost Mage, usually the king of mages, right? Always broken, but this time, not. So, I don't know when it got nerfed. I think maybe last season, but something is missing here, guys. Something is missing. And also one thing that is missing is actually probably melees, right? So if the meta was melee, probably Frost Mage would be A tier at least, or between A and B tier. But since this is a caster meta, Frost Mage is not shining. Okay? However, other mages are. Now, Arcane Mage. And it usually the damage is on the low side, right? Compared to the other two mages. You have to cast a little bit, like medium. Fire mage doesn't have to cast at all, does huge damage. Frost mage has to cast a little bit, does kind of low damage. And arcane mage has to cast, actually, but does insane damage if it's allowed to cast. If it is allowed to cast, this does so much damage. It's so scary, right? Remember the start of the season, how broken this was. Start of the season, this was SS. Hopefully, luckily they nerfed this. Now it's in check. Now it's in check. It's very balanced to play against this, but if you let this free cast, it's scary, okay? It's scary. Super good spec. Very nice. Now, Elemental Shaman. It's a nice spec, guys. It's a nice spec, but it is missing one thing. And that is, it doesn't have that. It has the same problem like Demon Hunter. It's just not game-changing, I feel. Just not game-changing. You need your teammate to close the game together with you. You have a lot of utility, you have a lot of everything. And but it's not game-changing. Unfortunately, it's not A tier. Let's say this is a B+, because it doesn't do as much damage as these two guys. Like if you let Elemental Shaman free cast, whatever. If you let Arcane Mage free cast, oh shit, right? Evoker, huge, it's gonna double the damage of Elemental Shaman. Elemental Shaman, you're focused, you're not focused, you still do medium damage, average damage, okay? So that's why it's not A tier. But it's very tanky. It's very tanky. And I think it's better in 3v3 than Shuffle, in my opinion. Now Boomy. Boomy is kind of obnoxious if you ask me currently. It's very, very strong. It's very tanky for some reason. It feels like this guy is sitting a bear form all game. And he's top damage somehow. So Moonfire does way too much damage. And then suddenly he pops Incarnation and Beam and someone gets one shot. Right? So pretty annoying class to play against, because he is sitting bear form all game and being top damage. So I think it's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good. Now, Affliction Lock. It's not currently performing really well, but honestly, guys, I think it's a low A tier. I think it's low A tier because if you let it cast, if you let it play, you will be punished for it. It does a lot of damage. It does a lot of damage. But since there's always almost 3 ranged in a lobby, if there's a Destro Lock, you're probably gonna go for a Destro Lock. And then Affliction will be able to free cast. And then you're fucked, right? So, that's why I think it's A tier. If you leave it, it's same like Arcane Mage, right? If you leave it unchecked, it's very scary. These are not very scary if you leave them unchecked, right? And that's why I think actually Affliction is better than Demon Lock. You can leave him to play because he's so tanky. He's probably the tankiest caster in the game. And even if he free casts, he will do solid damage, but it's not game-changing damage. I've never seen Demon Lock, solo carry a game. Like Marksman Hunter, like Fire Mage, like Boomy, right? I've never seen Demon Lock yet solo carry a game, and I've played with rank 1, highest Demon Locks in the world. So, I don't know. It's not that scary to me. Now, in my opinion, the king, the Giga Chad, Destro Lock. Scary, 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 scary. If you let this guy 2 seconds to breathe, you're dead. You're literally dead. He needs to be kept in line all game. Otherwise, you blink and you're dead, right? You get 1 fear, and he casts 2 instant Chaos Balls pretty much, because haste is insane right now, and you randomly die. So same as a marksman hunter. Very scary pressure, very scary kill pressure. You could die anytime. That's why these two are the kings. And no convincing can put them below. These two are kings. They have the biggest kill pressure. They're the most scary to play against. And once you combine two of these together, or with any of the other casters, and you play melee, it's a nightmare, right? It's a nightmare. Now, Shadow Priest is actually one of the easiest casters to play against as a melee, for example. And because he's static, right? He can't really kite, he can't really port away. But he's super tanky. He just casts Halo and he does bazillion of damage. He doesn't even need to cast. Halo does like 50% of his damage. It's crazy. He's very strong, doing nothing. Right? And he has super good utility. I really like Shadow Priest. I think Shadow Priest is super good. So, oh, we have one more caster. We're almost done. Now we have augmentation, guys. What do we think about augmentations? Augmentation is actually pretty decent. I've seen actually a 2.6 augmentation that was top damage in Double Hunter and I don't remember what it was anymore, lobby. So if you're really good with augmentation, this works. Okay, this works. But for the general crowd, you know, it's C tier. So it could be even A tier if you're like one trick. But it's pretty solid, honestly. It's pretty solid. If you want to put time into this, it's not bad. I like augmentation. Now, tanks, guys. Some tanks are actually playable. Very playable. But Vengeance Demon Hunter is not one of them. In my opinion, this is the weakest tank. It does low damage. It has some solid CC, but it's kinda awkward CC. You know, it's kinda awkward CC. Sigils, I don't like. It does solid AoE damage, so in melee lobbies it's pretty decent. But out of the other tanks, I think this is the worst one, guys. I mean, I played it rank 8 as Demon Hunter tank, so I can say this sucks, okay? However, Prot Paladin is pretty decent. Honestly, you could reach 2.1 with Prot Paladin. It is pretty damn decent. It has all the utility of a Red Paladin, plus it has that Angel bubble. You know, immunity. So he has another extra bubble. And the damage is not too bad. And plus you can up-heal. It's out of the tanks, top 2 for sure. It's very, very good. Very good. Now, Prot Warrior, low damage until execute phase. Then it gets kind of scary. Okay? It's pretty good. It's kind of oppressive casters because of the challenging shout. So you can make some plays with it. It's pretty decent. It's better definitely than the bad tanks. Okay, it's playable to 1.8 easily. Okay. Now Brewmaster is solid 2. I think it's a little bit weaker than Prot Warrior. But maybe just because the kit is kind of awkward. Like Prot Warrior kit I like more. It fits me more. So I think Brewmaster kit is kind of awkward. But it still does solid damage, okay? Still does solid damage. You can CC enemy healer into a kill on the DPS, and that's pretty good. That's why I think it's F tier. Now, Guardian Druid does not have much going on for him, except cloning, right? If you're being a clone bot, it's pretty good. You're tanky, and you know, it's not great, guys. It's not great. Once again, this is for arena, right? We're not talking about blitz here, battlegrounds. This is for arena. Now, Blood Decay is the most damage-wise strongest tank, obviously. I've seen some at, what was it, 2.5? Scary. They have some scary burst window. I haven't played him yet, but I know he's powerful. He has some very scary burst window. So, if you want to play tank, I would definitely suggest these two to climb to in arena. 2.1 is easily possible. 2.4 hard, very, very hard, but anything's possible, okay, with these two. Now, healers. Since Void Weaver is nerfed, things changed a little bit, I think. Now, Press Evoker is super good. I would say A+. Okay? I would say A+. Almost S tier. In my opinion, Press Evoker is the best healer right now. But I can't say any of the healers is super oppressive right now. Right? So I think, as you will see, I think a lot of healers will stay in A tier and there won't be any in the S tier. Okay, guys? So, Press Evoker is A tier and, in my opinion, the best healer in the game right now. Why I'm not putting it in S tier is because it's the hardest one as well. If you're really good, it's definitely S tier. But if you're not, it's A tier, okay? You're gonna kinda struggle with this one to learn it. Now, Restless Druid is good, but not great. In 2v2, it's super good, it's S tier, but in Shuffle, it's not that great. Okay, because the meta is very bursty, and Druid is not really reactive towards, you know, big Chaos Balls and big aim shots. So you can easily get one shot with Restless Druid in your team. But I really like playing with him. Clone is OP. Now, Holy Paladin, I think the same. The healing seems weak, honestly, but I'm gonna put it in front of Restless Druid because of his great defenses. Spell Bubble, Lay on Hands, Sack, Searing Glare, right? That's why I think he's better than Restless Druid. Because those defensives are game-changing. But the healing just kind of feels weak currently, in my opinion. Now, Disc, even after a nerf, is pretty decent. It's pretty decent. It's not obnoxious like before. Like before, it was definitely S tier, even S+, maybe. I think it's very fine now. I wouldn't touch it anymore. It's good. It's always the most popular healer, and, you know, even DPS like to play this. So, I think it's S tier. I think, again, Press Evoker is better, but it's harder. Okay? Now, Holy Priest, one of my favorite healers actually, and probably the easier out of all these in A tier. It's just a pure healer, pure satisfying healer. You're just healing, you're having big ass heals, and it's fun to play. Holy Priest, it's pretty good. What can you say? It's pretty good, but it's not S tier, right? Mana problems. Now, Resto Shaman, again, strong start, but great utility. I don't know. Problem with Resto Shamans is I never see them put Link down. I literally never see them use that ability. If Resto Shamans were actually using their toolkit, maybe they would be S tier, but out of 100 Shamans, maybe I see 5 of them use their toolkit. So I don't know what's going on with Shamans. Maybe because it was a flavor of the month, you know. But it's a good healer. It's overall good healer. I think all these 4, whichever you pick, they're kind of equally strong. Just which kind of healer you prefer. Okay? If you want to be more aggressive, go with Press Evoker, you know, going to be in closer range. If you want to be more defensive, pick Holy Priest or Resto Shaman. You know, standing back a little bit further. If you want to be then again, more offensive, you can go Void Weaver, or if you want to be more defensive, you can go Oracle. So I think all of these 4 healers are great. Whatever you pick, it's great. Now, the best healer in the game, boom, Mistweaver, guys. This is the worst healer currently. I don't know. Whenever I see Mistweaver, he doesn't perform because he can't heal, really. You know, he has that big cocoon, but once the cocoon is gone, someone is gonna die probably. So Mistweaver, sadly, is not performing well at all anymore, and that's it. So, guys, if you agree with my list, let me know. If you don't agree with my list, let me know as well. What is it you do not agree with? I think I wouldn't change a thing. It's pretty damn correct, if you ask me. Again, some of these could potentially go in S tier or A+, but this is around elite level, and that's how it's supposed to be. So, guys, if you enjoyed this, drop the like, drop the sub, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.